God morning and good morning. Thank God for the wake up. Thank God for the wake up. Thank God for the wake up. Thank you for tuning in to Talking Cancer, My Journey, My Way. I am your host, Luis Lopez, and today it's TGI Friday. Or TGIF Friday, right? Something like that. Anyways, yes, another wonderful day. I actually went to bed really, really early yesterday. I think I was in bed by 9 o'clock. Knocked the hell out. Boom. Um, you know, um, it was a trip because I was scrolling yesterday through, I think through like Instagram or something like that, and I ran across this lady who is, doing her own thing with colon cancer, and she actually had promoted um, this guy named Randy Gonzalez, and I was like, oh, well, you know what? Let me click on it. For some reason, I clicked on that one, and um, it was a video, and it was a shared video from his page, which I'll probably end up sharing later on today. But his name is Randy Gonzalez, and today I want to talk about Randy, just for the simple fact um, that he was young, and not only that, but once he actually died from colon cancer. And what I want to talk about is that when he found out, and when he finally came to grips with things, he wanted to help raise awareness, similar to myself. He wanted to help raise awareness for younger people, and he wanted to start pushing a movement to change the age, well, to have people get tested like around 30. Something that I had in my podcast I want to say just last week or something like that, or earlier this week. So, um, the thing about Randy, though, is that he was, and still is, really, his son as well, is a TikTok influencer. You know, um, him and his son became famous. Uh, Randy Gonzalez, better known on TikTok as the Inky Boys, ENKYBOYS. Um, if you don't know who I'm talking about, just go to TikTok, type in Inky Boys, um, and you'll recognize some of the TikToks immediately because of his son. Cute little kid. Um, the thing about this thing is that he was diagnosed um, back in November, I want to say, of 2021, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. He said he was having like upper abdominal pains, which I'm familiar with. It's really hard to eat, and those upper abdominal pains, you kind of just get stuck. You know what I mean? And um, haven't had those in a while, but I was having those, and a lot of that pressure, that and pain that I was feeling, um, I was able to relieve those through my acupuncture. But the thing about Randy is that he was only 35 when he passed, and he wanted to start testing at 30. Well, you know, it goes back to that thing where I was talking about before, where once diagnosed, now remember he's stage 4 already, but once diagnosed, um, it had already been doing this thing, growing and all of this stuff, 10 to 15 years prior to the diagnosis. So, although a case like Randy's is rare, not rare like he's the only one wherever, but there's a lot of people like him that pass. Just the numbers aren't as big as somebody that is 45 and up, whatever. But the fact is that it happens. And if we had some sort of uh, policy or something in place to just have this screening as part of your normal stuff, like almost like almost like getting your shots, your immunization shots. Maybe not that young, but then again, sometimes I think like, why not that young? Like young. I'm talking about kid young. Why not that young? Just for the simple fact, what I mean, off top, it'll stop any kind of stereotype that a man may have about having a colonoscopy, because it's something that will be happening from a youth. Now I'm not saying that, hey, yes, but started at a young age like that, like 10 or something like that, but I'm just saying, why not? But if you were to do something and change the age, because I truly believe 45 is too young. I mean, not young enough. Excuse me. Apologize. I believe 45 is not young enough. I think it should be at least minimum 30, but I would love to go to 20. Like, seriously. Why not? Like I said, we could completely, probably almost certain that we could completely eradicate this disease just by testing that early. You know what I mean? It's a trip. He was diagnosed in 2021. I believe he finally started saying something like in 2022. Like I said, you kind of get embarrassed a little bit, but him and his son were pretty funny. You know what I mean, to say the least. But he died at 35. I definitely want to rest in peace and give my condolences to his mother, his brother, his wife, his kids, or his son. But Randy's death, it came less than 1 month after he announced it on TikTok. So he barely was starting to become an advocate to push the issue. And I'm pretty sure he would have had a huge influence because of all of his followers. Now I would definitely like to find out more about whether his family has continued the legacy of trying to push that issue, because it's something that I feel like it really should be done, especially for this young guy with so much talent and not able to be around with his kid and things like that, and make these comedy skits and dances. They were funny. They were good. They were clever. But definitely shout out to Randy. I look at some of his stuff, his videos, and what he said was, let me go ahead and quote him from this. What he said was, "I kept it to myself, and I felt like it was selfish because I didn't want to tell everybody my business because it was personal. But I feel like I can use my situation to give awareness for young men like myself because I'm only 34. And they say it's very rare for a young guy like myself to catch colon cancer. Randy said in the video at that time, adding that the doctor had told him that his life expectancy would be like 2 to 5 years. Randy said, I didn't know how to take it. It was devastating. He said, I want to help other people and start awareness for young men to go get checked for colon cancer, to go get a colonoscopy. How I figured out I was having a problem with my upper abdomen and I was always in pain. And luckily, his wife had told him to go get a colonoscopy because I was just going to go get an EGD, which is endoscopy or something like that. Esophagogastroduodenoscopy. I'd rather just say EGD. It's basically through the mouth because they thought it was an ulcer or something. But the long story short, I want to start awareness of colon cancer for young men to start to go get checked in the early ages. 30 years old. So he was thinking along the same lines as I was. At least 30, minimum. I would like to see 20. That's the thing. If this cancer is like that and it kind of builds up to 10 to 15 years prior to your diagnosis. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find it, but this is just when you finally went to the doctor and got checked. But if you could do that 10 to 15 years prior to, you would have definitely caught this thing. And we definitely would be living a lot better without the worries of cancer or what it could do or what could happen. This thing is deadly. And I believe Randy had the right idea. Especially, with sitting here and I'm thinking about it myself. I'm like, dude, there's something has to change. Like, who makes these rules for somebody younger not to be able to have a colonoscopy? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure when Randy went, he kind of pushed the issue a little bit in regards to a colonoscopy. They just didn't voluntarily just say yes. I don't believe that is true, but I don't know. Because when you're that young, they really try to do other things, like maybe just go through the throat, or hey, here's some pills here, you have a stomach ulcer, this or that, or you just got built up gas, and you know what I mean. And that's what they do. I don't believe, first of all, like that should be the case. I mean, having a colonoscopy is not a super evasive, procedure. It's really pretty quick. And it's really pretty harmless. I think the medicine that kind of puts you under a little bit, you're not completely under, but you're under, you're not aware. I think that's more harmful to you than the actual colonoscopy. I would love to see the age change. How do I go about doing that? I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know if I start creating a petition or Who do I talk to the CDC, and how do I get this age change? What can I do to start the change? We could be saving so much money on other things because we wouldn't need a cure for cancer, for colon cancer. Because we'll be sitting here, there won't be a lot of cancer patients because we'll be removing the polyps and things like that early. That just makes so much sense to me. You know? Anyways, I definitely want to dedicate this episode to Randy Gonzalez for at least speaking up and wanting to be an advocate. And he's still an advocate now, even while he's gone. That's the crazy part about it, is that he has millions of followers that look at this page and what he wants to do, what he wanted to do, and things like that. And he's reaching lives still right now, and he's not even here. The same way like Chadwick Boseman. Just making such an impact using the platform that he had. It's the crazy part. I commend him for that. For his son, for being so strong. His family in general, for being so strong. And I'm hoping that they're doing something to keep his legacy going with the Randy Gonzalez Foundation, the Inky Boy Colon Cancer Foundation, whatever it is. I'm not sure. I would have to do more research. But it's a shame. It's a damn shame that he died in the beginning of this year at the age of 35. Wow, 35. I'll post some on my Instagram. If you wish to take a look at it later, I'll probably put it, share it to my stories or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely. I felt it when I listened to it, and I went to it, and I was just listening to him speak. I knew exactly what he was going through. I know the pause and not wanting to tell people, and it's my business, that type of thing, and you really just don't know how to navigate life for a minute. Well, he caught on quick, and he decided, he made that conscious decision to want to help, and I commend him for that. So thank you, Randy Johnson, for your advocacy, for your continued advocacy now. Thank you for your funny stories and videos on TikTok. I appreciate you. You did make me laugh, and it was just wholesome fun. So definitely, my condolences to the family. I appreciate you. Thank you. And that's my time. Don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. And I'm out. Peace, love, one.